This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that loved the Lawnmower 3.0, well, I got news for you. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim all through additional guards lengths, sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish, even features a hot foil stamp, black chrome Manscaped logo. Show your more off loud and proud. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of the Lawnmower 4.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Good morning to you. Happy Friday. This is a live stream, and we're streaming live on a beautiful Friday morning. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Get your checks and come up. Get up, get up, get up. It is the first of the month, October 1st, and thank you all, Who Dat Nation, for being here. Now, this is a show first of its kind. This is a show, if you look at the title, it says, TJ, you tripping. And the reason why I decided to do a show like this, because there are a lot of people who, for some apparent reason, watch the State of the Saints podcast, and then they put comments down below and make comments about how they disagree with what I have to say. Well, this show is dedicated to all those people out there that may disagree with some of the takes that I have here on the State of the Saints podcast, and I am giving you the opportunity to comment. And if you don't want to comment, you can call in to tell me why you feel that some of my takes are inaccurate or you feel that you disagree with them, okay? Because I don't want anybody to feel that they don't have an opportunity to come on here and all I want to hear is a whole bunch of positive things. If you disagree with what I have to say, fine. All right. So this show is dedicated to you. There's no more hiding. You don't have to hide behind, old profiles and cans of potted meat. You can actually come on the show and give your opinion just like everybody else. So this show is dedicated to all those people. Okay. So that's the reason why the show is entitled TJ, You Trippin'. But everybody that's in the comments, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate you all being here, spending your Friday with yours truly. But we all know that the Saints have their first official home game coming up this weekend, even though, they supposedly had a home game in Jacksonville. We know that was a neutral site game. But now the Saints are coming back to the Superdome, and we have a lot of Saints fans that are excited about that. They're excited about, New Orleans Saints finally coming home. Saints players are excited to be back at home in familiar territories. Don't have to, worry about living out of suitcases anymore. So that's just the way that it is. Now they get opportunity to come to the Superdome to take on the New York Giants, a Giants team that has been struggling. And, they got a lot of unanswered questions out there. But it's going to be an interesting game, man. The last time I can remember the Saints playing the Giants in the Superdome, it was epic, man. I think that's when Drew Brees threw for 7 touchdowns and Eli Manning threw for 6. I mean, it was crazy out there, man. So I don't think it's going to resemble anything like that because of the defenses. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I just feel like it's going to be, you know, one of those situations where it's going to be a very interesting game defensively as well as, you know, offensively. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments in a minute. But first, I have to fix something, a correction. So here is another, I said just another announcement because I have to actually fix something audio-wise. So keep it locked right here to the State of the Saints podcast. This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that love... All right, enough of that. All right, so I'm sorry, man. I had to fix something audio-wise. I was realizing I wasn't really coming through the way that I was. So thank y'all for being here. I'm about to go ahead and read some of your comments and see what you all have to say. And like I said, man, I'm about to put the link in the chat here. Anybody that want to come and chime in, here's your opportunity to do so. So this show is dedicated to all those people out there that may feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying, about, you know, the comments. Because I before I get started, I'll let y'all know why, you know. Okay. So there are a lot of people that were taken back and offended by my comments, you know, in regards to Jameis Winston. I think on the last show I said that I feel like Sean Payton does not trust Jameis Winston. He doesn't trust Jameis Winston. And I just think that, you know, a lot of people took that the wrong way. You know, people like, man, you create narratives, TJ. You create narratives. I'm not creating narratives. I mean, it's just a fact, man. You know, like no coach is going to come in just completely 100% trusting a quarterback. It takes some time. I mean, Sean Payton didn't even trust Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying, when it first came in. Because I'll give y'all a story that I heard, okay? It was right off when Drew Brees was coming off his shoulder surgery. And at training camp, Drew Brees wasn't looking like the Drew Brees we see today, and for how everybody, you know, compares every other quarterback that walks through the door. It was so bad to a point where Sean actually went up to one of his coaching staff members and said, man, are you sure we made the right decision? So think about this. If he's going to second guess something like Drew Brees, what makes you think that he is not going to second guess some of the things that Jameis Winston is doing? And, you know, when people start talking about people that we love and we admire and we value, and, you know, I have no problem with you being upset, but it's just the fact that you have some people out there that just don't know how to differentiate constructive criticism and just pure hate. Just because somebody talks about somebody that you like doesn't mean that they hate them, okay? So for some apparent reason, you know what I'm saying, I'm flipping the script. I'm creating narratives, you know, disagreeing about, you know, the offense, the defense, the special teams. Like I said, man, this show is dedicated to all those people out there. You know what I'm saying? Now you have yourself an open forum. There's no way, you know what I'm saying, you can say that, you know, I'm high and I'm trying to act as if I don't value your opinion. This show is dedicated to you. So please feel free to come on the show and tell me what you disagree with. And, you know, we'll take it from there. So I'm putting a link down in the chat. Hopefully everybody, you know, that you know, wants to be a part of the show, they can do it. But in the meantime, I'm going to read some of these comments. Keelan said, TJ, they not ready for you. You know, maybe they not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. It's easier for them to make the comments, you know, instead of them like coming in, you know what I'm saying, and actually being on the show, right? And then my all-time favorite is when people tell me you always talking about, like, and you can tell, for example, you can tell those people don't even watch the damn show. And that's what really upsets me is when people have their takes and you can tell they don't watch the show. Like they talk about how I always talk about one particular subject. But I guarantee you, man, you go back and you look at 801 episodes of State of the Saints podcast, I guarantee you there won't be a continuous narrative. It's based on what happens from week to week, from situation to situation. Tyler says, TJ, you tripping. The only reason we lost to Carolina is the players and coaches weren't there. Stop the excuse. Next man up. You take the guys. Should just step up is garbage. We were a preseason team playing starters. Let's see. I'm tripping. The only reason we lost to Carolina is because the players and coaches weren't there. I mean, that's a fair assessment. I mean, I feel like the coaches would have made a huge difference. But when did I say that there wasn't a big difference? I mean, the last episode I said, I even went in on a huge dialogue about the next time the Saints play Carolina, it's going to be different. I said that. So once again, that's one of those comments that only listen to half of what I say. But thank you, Tyler. Next, good morning, TJ. What's going on? Hoodie Jube, who that Pammy Whammy, giving out a shout out to Pammy. Let's see. He don't trust him is obvious. I mean, trust is something that you develop. Look, I don't care. Like when you first start dating somebody can say all the right things, do all the right things, but it take a while for you to actually fully trust that person, even though you might start developing feelings for a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that Sean Payton, values Jameis Winston's talent, but I mean, he ain't about to just get off the turnip truck and be like, man, look, I trust you. I mean, in every situation, that trust is developed. Trust has to be built, not bought. Exactly. It takes time. It takes time to do that, man. You got to make sure that the guy making the right decisions or you putting them in the right positions to succeed. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. To be kind. I agree, TJ. Now Sean may feel comfortable as he's a number 1 and number 2 wide receiver show back up. He may allow Alabama kid to unleash a little more down the field. I don't know what we talking about here. Are we talking about Ian Book or we talking about Mac Jones? Or right after the game, you said that we can't have no excuses, similar to what Coach Payton was trying to say, but that's not the case. We can't pretend like them playing. Man, it is an excuse. Nobody cares. Like, that's what the players are saying. Nobody give a damn that those guys weren't there. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not sitting up here making an excuse. Well, the excuse is like, that's a huge, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it played a huge role, but you can't sit up there and make that as an excuse. Stop making like, okay, the coaches weren't there. All right, let's go ahead and, because the coaches weren't there, let's go ahead and just erase that game. That game didn't matter. Guess what? That still was a loss in the eyes of the Saints. So you can't make that, you can't take that as an excuse. Did it play a role? Yes. But what the excuse gonna do? What the hell does excuse gonna make? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. Like, you can talk about that, but that's the reason why people be talking about Saints fans being whiners. Oh man, y'all always like, man, knock it off, man. Nobody cares that those guys were off. You know what I'm saying? Or not around. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? They still lost. Would it have played a role? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But who knows if they would have ended up winning that game? I mean, we don't have a magic crystal ball. We ain't cool with Miss Cleo and Nostradamus, so you don't know how that game would have turned out. You don't know how that game would have turned out. That's just speculation right there. If ifs was a fifth, we all would be drunk. We all would be on that hen. We all would be on that Patron. We'll all be on it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what would have happened in that game. We don't know. What would have made a difference? Yeah. But would have made a difference to a point they would have won? Who knows? That's speculation. I'm gonna go to Aaron. Aaron, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's good, TJ, dude?
How you doing?
I'm in pain. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got an ER visit tomorrow. I got a huge ass. You can't see it on the camera, but I got a huge ass cyst that's been growing on the left side of my jaw here. I'm gonna get looked at tomorrow. It's getting kind of hard to sleep with this thing. I had to sleep on my right side just to keep pressure from getting to it. It's not a fun time.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully when you go to ER, man, they fix the issue and you'll be back to normal in no time, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm not looking forward to that medical bill at all. But that's a future problem for future me.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about was not really just what you had to say that's contradicting it. I kind of wanted to get my thoughts on the Giants game coming up because this has the makings of a trap game for the New Orleans Saints. Last year, we were on a road to go to Philadelphia. The O-line was banged up. Their receivers were a little below average. Saints were coming in healthy on defense, from the defensive line to the secondary. And Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders picked them apart with the RPO. And they couldn't recover from that until they tried to do a late rally in the fourth quarter. This has a similar type of vibe. They may not have Sterling Shepard, they may not have Darius Slayton, but they still have a competent offensive line, and they have a quarterback in Daniel Jones that can pick up yardage with his arms as much as his legs. They still have a dynamic player in Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to be a true test for rookie linebacker Pete Werner. Don't care how much upside you have. You're going up against one of those guys, you're going to be in for a long day. You don't stay on your P's and Q's. They still have Kadarius Toney. They still have a playmaker who many Saints fans should know in Kyle Rudolph. He's given us headaches for the last 2 to 3 seasons, if memory serves me right. And they still have a young defense that can fly around to the football. From the defensive line to Leonard Williams to the secondary, composed of James Bradbury, one of the best cornerbacks last year, and a young safety in Xavier McKinney. And with the offense being subpar as it is, the Saints need to make sure that they play to their strengths and make sure they keep the ball away from Daniel Jones as much as possible. Otherwise, they may be in for a shot. Now, I don't believe they're going to lose because it's homecoming. Demario Davis just had his 5th child yesterday, shot up to 56. But they need to make sure they don't fall into this trap like they did last year. Otherwise, it's going to really hurt you when you're fighting for playoff seeding late in the season.
Well, I don't think the Saints are going to lose this game. I mean, in any other situation, it'll probably be different. I can understand about it being a trap game, but I just think that everything that's going on in the Gulf Coast region and how much this team understands that what this team actually means to the people, to the city, to the group, of individuals that rely on this team, as a level of normal. I don't think they're going to lose this game. Like any other situation, I feel like that. But it's going to have to take a Herculean effort for them boys to beat the Saints this week. Like if it was like any other time, I would agree with you. But I just think this is just the wrong place, the wrong time for these guys. They're going to find a way to win. Now, if we want to talk about maybe the game being close, them fighting, but I cannot see the Saints like surrendering this game to the New York Giants. The New York Giants, they're a tough football team. They're tough out. They don't just lay down for people, and they play tough, and they're always there in the end. But the New Orleans Saints, it's just something different, about this squad in certain situations I've seen earlier in the season where I know defensively they'll give up big plays and they'll continuously give up those type of plays, or they'll continue to start sluggish. This team is different. I don't know what it is, but and you combine the fact that all this stuff that's going on and how emotional that Superdome going to be, man, wrong place, wrong time for the Giants. They got a lot of talent, but I just don't think that that's going to be able to play a role, and not in this game. I just don't. Like I don't see a situation where I feel like they're going to win. It's going to have to take like a huge disaster. I'm talking about like a calamity of epic proportions for the Giants to win this football game. I mean, I get all the talent they have, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. I just don't. Like, I just don't. It just sometimes maybe it's like I feel like divine intervention or something. I don't know, but it is just one of those games where I'm not really too concerned about.
Hey, yo, I definitely have the Saints winning. Don't misunderstand me. I have the Saints winning 30-16. 30-16, I have them winning. They opened up as 8-point favorites for a reason. And it's everything's set up. Everything's set up for the Saints to come out and dominate this game.
Right.
But I still have the mentality of any given Sunday. Right. And I know the Saints lose games they should win, and they win games they should lose. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not going to be creeping in the back of my head until the clock hits 0.
Right. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, that's a fair assessment. But I just don't feel that way, man. Like I just feel like it's going to be too emotional in that dome. But Aaron, man, I hope everything work out for you, man. I hope you feel better, and I hope the visit, to the doctor get you all fixed up, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, man. Let me know, man.
Yeah, I'll update you on Twitter. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. Anybody that wants to disagree with TJ, please come on. Please come on to the show. Please come on to the show.
Please do.
And while you're here, this right here, go ahead. Participate in DraftKings to support TJAY, man. Man. I'll holler at you later, man.
All right, you take it easy, man. Yeah, man. I mean, feel free to chime in. You know what I'm saying? The link in the comments. Feel free to do so. Going to Jerry. Jerry, what's going on, man? How you doing? You on mute, Jerry? Hold on.
Yeah, okay, I'm here, TJ. I'm here.
Okay, how you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's Friday. It's October.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Homecoming. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it too, man. It's been a long time since you feel like the Saints have been in the Superdome, man. So I know it's going to be a very emotional game, and I know there's going to be a lot of screaming who that's going to be in that Superdome, man, trying to make it tough for those Giants. So what you got to say, man? What are your thoughts? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. As you can see, I'm wearing this New Orleans Saints breast cancer awareness cap.
Yeah, man.
In support of those supporters out there, with breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
So people have families, that survive breast cancer, died from breast cancer and all that. So my heart goes out to y'all. I salute you all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
And as you can see, I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, man. You actually won that shirt in the contest, man. You're actually the first contest I ever had here on the State of Saints podcast, man. You won, so yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting.
I have to do that, TJ, because you're the one that set it up.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. But what do you think about the game? What are your thoughts about the Saints as a team, man? You got anything on your mind?
Yeah, man. You begin some key players back.
Yeah.
To help with that offensive line.
Right.
And hey, all I'm looking at is what they're gonna do Sunday, because like I say every time, TJ, when the Saints play a different team every week, we can't take none of these teams lightly, because you never know what they're gonna have up their sleeve.
Right.
Y'all saw what happened when we went up to Carolina. We didn't know what to expect.
No, we didn't.
So you never know what these Giants are gonna do. I mean, we're gonna bring our A game, but they're gonna bring theirs. But at the end of the day, we already know we're gonna come out on top.
Yeah.
But like my dad always say, you can't take this team lightly no matter what they're gonna do. They might even trick us.
Right.
And beat us at home. But you just have to wait and see on Sunday.
Yeah. I just think they're gonna be motivated, I mean, in any other situation, I'd be concerned, but not in this situation. I guess, what I'm saying, it just gives me that type of confidence. And I'm not even just, looking back in 2006 when they played the Falcons. I just feel like this team understands, what this actually means to the city. I just don't see them really just going out there losing this football game. I mean, you can call me naive, you can call me crazy, whatever, but I just don't feel that way. I just feel like there's certain things that are just bigger than everything else. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that this team gonna be motivated to play. So I can't see them losing, Jerry. I just can't. Like, I wish I could be nervous like some fans do, but I just not this game. You know what I'm saying? If they lose, I would be like incredibly shocked. Like I would probably be. I'm gonna be real. I've been doing this show for 4 seasons. It'll probably be the most shocked loss ever that I've ever called or ever gave my opinion on. This would be it would be a huge shock, like times 1,000 in my opinion.
Yeah, but I just don't see it, TJ.
No, I don't.
I mean, and I'm not saying you're naive and none of that stuff. You ain't even tripping neither. We know what this team is capable of.
Yeah,
we've been beating folks like we've been putting like 40 points, 30 points, 50 points, 60 points on somebody. You remember what happened in 2011 when the coach didn't have no quarterback?
Yeah,
them Saints put up 63 points. That's the Michael Jordan points.
Yeah, man.
They put on the Colts.
I remember that. Curtis Painter was the quarterback. That was awful.
It was.
That was a horrible game,
great.
man. That was a horrible game for the coach.
Look, on a Sunday night game, bro.
Yeah, right.
Breaking
That
records.
that was a beatdown.
On folks.
Yeah,
man. But
I think it's gonna be a good game. Like I said, I don't think the Giants are gonna roll over, but I do think that the Saints are gonna win a football game, man. But Jerry, you got anything else, man? You got anything else before you go?
Nothing much, man. I just want to say special shout out to everybody in the chat. Who that to everybody? It's Friday. It's homecoming weekend. I mean, it's October.
Right.
I mean, what more can you expect? But I want to also send a very big shout out to Miss Gail Benson, because most of y'all saw the interview she did talking about keeping the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Use some of that money, to help out the community and everything.
Right.
So big shout out to Miss Gail Benson. And if some people don't like it, and like you say in his channel, and he does it well, but I do it too. Miss Gail Benson say, "You better get out of here."
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I don't think anybody have a problem with the Saints staying in New Orleans for the foreseeable future, and even once Miss Gail Benson is no longer there. So, yeah, that's huge, man. But Jared, thank you so much, man. Thank you for giving a shout out to those people with breast cancer. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is the month of October. You can go to Susan G. Coleman's website to get information about that. There's also different things within your own community, rather it's walk or you can donate to individuals within the community that's dealing with breast cancer in order for them to, get help and get some of the services that they need. So, I mean, there's a plethora of things that you can actually choose from. And once again, Jared, thank you for bringing that up, my friend. And you take care, man.
You're welcome. Also, special shout out to Aaron as well, man. I hope you feel better, brother.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Aaron, man. Hope everything work out for him. Jared, thank you so much, man. And you take it easy, man.
This weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who that?
All right, who that?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let me go ahead and read some of these. I want to give a special shout out to the people that donated here on the State of Saints podcast before we go to Gabe here. I want to thank CB for donating the $9.99. Y'all know CB from the Who That Nation chat line, along with Carly and crew. Also, Kim, thank you for the $5. Said the Mike TJAY interview was top-notch interview, like his and John DeShays. It really increased my football IQ. Keep up the good work. Who that? Yeah, look, man, I love both of those guys, man. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. The best conversations come behind the scenes between Mike TJAY and myself, man. Like, Mike is like my favorite, like one of my favorite people to talk to, not just interview, but talk to in general. The guy's like a walking, talking sports encyclopedia. And he's such a, like, what you see on camera is like who he actually is, man. Like, and so he's such a genuine person, man. And I just love like him being on the show and just his knowledge, man. And, just some of the things that he talk about and some of the information that he gives me, I mean, it's incredible, man. So shouts out to Mike TJAY. We're going to go to Gabe. Gabe, how you doing, man?
How you doing, TJ?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. What you got for me?
Doing good. How you and your family doing and stuff?
Man, everybody fine, man. Family good over here, enjoying this fall weather out here in South Carolina. And my son Paxton, we put some pumpkins in the front yard and stuff like that, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm happy.
That's what's up. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah. But yeah, man, I see, man, you a lot of like with our thoughts, man. I was just listening to all these people trying to get a Giants hope. Man, stop, man. Man, just stop. Yeah. The Saints, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When the Saints fully healthy and Michael Thomas come back, I don't think the Saints gonna get beat. I think we going to the Super Bowl, man. I'm just saying that. I believe that.
I mean, look, I think the offense going to be much better, Gabe. I can't throw the Super Bowl out there. I got to give people opportunities and chances. But I do think that he's going to play a huge role, in the Saints' success once he's able to get back and acclimated to football. I mean, it's been a while, man, since Michael Thomas played some football fully. So it's going to take him some time in order for him to kind of get adjusted, But when he do, man, I mean, he's going to be a great weapon to have.
Yes, sir. But I'm just thinking of the fact that we have Traquan. I think Traquan Smith coming back, right?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't practice this week. I haven't heard him being at practice, so he probably most likely come back. at that Washington game or maybe after the bye against Seattle. So
I'm excited about our wide receiver core. There's Traquan Stills, Harris, Thomas, Callaway. It's gonna be a lot of people to account for.
Right.
And I think we got a good chance to make it this year. You know, I'm putting all my marbles in one jar. I think we're gonna do it.
Right.
But the far the Giants go though, I can't see that neither.
Nah,
I can't see that neither. I can't see that at all.
Yeah.
And back to your I heard you talking about Winston earlier, man. Like I don't know why people get upset because it's quite obvious. You can see that Sean Payton don't trust Winston. If you're watching the games, you can see that. So I don't know. He's like, he just let Jameis Winston throw it just, to get a first down, a quick pass or something. He ain't trying to use him like Tampa Bay use him, but
no,
he ain't that trustworthy yet, as you can see.
Yeah,
So
I mean, trust is earned. I mean, it got to be based on your play, And if he puts a long sample size or a huge sample size rather together, I think that's when the trust starts to develop, man. But you want to make sure. Look, if you're a coach, and you're going to surround your team or build your team around the people that you know for a fact that you can trust. Alvin Kamara, over the course of time, has shown that you can trust him, like by him running in between the tackles, catching out of the backfield. So why in the world at this particular time wouldn't you want to build a team around your best offensive weapon, that is Alvin Kamara? I mean, Jameis has talent, Jameis has skills and abilities, and you have a bunch of supporters of Jameis Winston who feel like he can't do or say or do no wrong at all. And every time something happens, it's somebody else's fault but Jameis. But it is what it is. The whole fact of the matter is there's a trust level that coach needs to have between he and the quarterback, and it is not there right now. Gabe, you got anything else, man?
No, sir. I just want to say, like, you pretty accurate with this stuff. I always agree with you because most of the time you're right, man. So we're just gonna keep getting these W's and hope we could take it to the distance, go all the way. But
man. Hopefully, man. I mean, look, they're still winning, and there's a lot of unanswered questions. So, I mean, the sky is just the limit. So that just shows you, like, once everything starts to get corrected, we'll probably see a better, even better football team. But Gabe, thank you so much, man. Thank you for chiming in. Really appreciate it, man. Feel free to call back anytime.
All right, appreciate you, man.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man. Look, trust is earned. Okay, trust is earned. You're not just gonna get off the bus and somebody and coach is just gonna trust you. That it just does not work like that. Let me see. Who that nation. Thank you very much for the $2. Cornelius said Jameis is too worried about what the media will think of him. If he throws a pick, he needs to block that out and he'll be fine. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that he worried about what the media is saying, because if he worried about what the media was saying, I don't think he would have like some of these takes on himself. I think it's more so what Sean is telling him, more so than what the media is telling him. Because if that was the case, then he probably would, he probably wouldn't have had that type of year that he had in Tampa. He still was out there slinging the ball around, doing his thing. I just think that it has a lot to do with the coaching and instruction that they're giving him, man. I don't think it has anything to do with the media. Look, I'm just being honest, man. If some of the scrutiny that this dude experienced at the hands of the media, if you don't have like certain level of confidence in yourself, man, you'll be so deep on the bench there, it'll be hard to find you. Somebody have to find you with a flashlight and binoculars. The fact that this dude is actually going out there and battling and is a starter after year upon year of him being a poster boy for bad quarterback play in the eyes of the media, the mainstream media. Every time this dude has some type of shortcoming or imperfection, they amplify it. Like, if you didn't have a level of confidence, you wouldn't even be on the field, man. You'll be in Nathan Peterman territory on the bench somewhere where nobody can find you. So I don't think that's the case. I don't think he worried about what the media is telling him. I think it's more so what Sean is instructing him to do. We're going to go to Hoodie Jube. Hoodie Jube, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for letting me come on here.
No problem, man.
So basically, I just got a few questions for you. Like I said, I usually agree with you on everything too. We usually think alike. But one question would be, do you believe and do you feel like you can trust Jameis?
Do I believe I can? Yeah, I think you can trust Jameis. I just think that Jameis has some, and I said this on the last show, Hoodie Jude. I just think that Jameis Winston comes from a place where everybody that was around him, they needed him. You know what I'm saying? To elevate their career, elevate the school, elevate the franchise, and because of that, like he never really was instructed otherwise. Like I just think that at Florida State, you know what I'm saying? They went to the national championship. He won a Heisman Trophy. Jimbo Fisher was the recipient of all that success. When Jameis was out there winning national championships and leading the nose to victory, it was making Jimbo Fisher look good. So good, he got another opportunity at another job. When it comes to Tampa, him being the first overall pick, they were a snake-bitten franchise. So this guy was supposed to be the savior of your franchise. And I just think that when you have coaches that were on a hot seat, coaches that felt like, oh, you know what I'm saying, my job is on the line, I don't think that you're going to really fully instruct him the way that a guy like Sean Payton would. Sean Payton has skins on the wall. Sean Payton, he has stability when it comes to the job. The Saints are a respected franchise. So with that, it comes like a level of responsibility. You're not going to be throwing the ball all over the place and being erratic. So I just think that accountability, the fact of accountability with the Saints from those other organizations and universities are different. So that's the difference. I do think that he can do that, but I just think for the first time, really strongly, I feel like this is the first time Jameis is really getting full instruction on some of the things that he needs to correct, because everybody else just rode his coattails to whatever destination they needed.
Definitely. And then basically another thing, I was talking about it the other night on my podcast, and I had Mr. Till, the legend from the Nola Bros. Me and him was talking about it, and he kind of agrees with me. And I was asking him, and I was like, "Do you think the Saints should go back to?" Because we already know Jameis Winston's got an arm; he can hit downfield, accurate when you need him to, deep. And I asked him, I said, "Do you think it would be the best way to train Jameis like we did with Drew? Go short, 5-6 yards, give it out, get the ball out your hand really quick. Don't hold it more than 2 or 3 seconds, and get it out, keep getting a first down. Who cares if we take these little long drives if we need to? Why not do that? Why not give the ball more to the running backs? Get that running game, be the running team first, passing second, go short like Drew was. And then when people start playing up again, that's when you hit them with a play action and go deep. Because I feel like a lot of plays are just trying to go too far, and people are trying to get open, and we're getting too much people get into the line because they hurt. So I felt like if we just got the old Drew type of plays where you go, 2 yards, 3 yards, passes, and get it out your hand, I feel like it would help our offense so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that I think they need to put more emphasis on the running game. I really do. I think the running game needs to be the catalyst for the offense. And I just think, like you said, that sets up the play action. And also, like some of those short yardage situations, like you said, similar to that, Drew, it lobs the defense to sleep. But here's the difference, right? Like you just mentioned. Like with Drew, he threw the ball kind of short, because he had limitations. You can't do that with Jameis. You can't, just say, I'm going to just sit on, I'm going to just sit at the sticks, because he can throw the ball over your head. So I do think that you need to add a little bit of that in there. And also, man, I just think that they need to get the tight ends more involved. I was talking with RP3 on RP3 and Company on 103.7 this morning, and he talked about that, how the Saints need to utilize the tight ends a little bit more and maybe like add them to the passing game, because Jameis Winston really thrived in Tampa, throwing the ball to tight end. So I think if you combine that, I think they'll be just fine. But yeah, I think that's something they can explore, Hoodie Jude.
Gotcha. And then the last thing I just want to ask you, basically, do you think Sean Payton and the Saints are running a lot, running the ball a lot more and letting Jameis only have about 20 attempts? You think it's because they protected him, from trying to get picks, or do you think that they just basically kind of waiting on Michael Thomas to come back before, they bring that big high passing offense back?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Jameis doesn't have a full grasp on what the offensive playbook is. I mean, look, if you look at the stats back in the day when Drew first got here, if we're talking about him, I mean, he wasn't throwing the ball 300-400 yards per game. I mean, it was 170, 150 yards, just like Jameis. I think the offensive playbook of the New Orleans Saints is a complex playbook, and it takes some time for you to, try to figure it out. So I just think that while he's figuring it out, they're not trying to bombard him with a bunch of stuff, where it just feels like his head is on, he's getting dizzy. I just think that they're trying to help him out. And I think eventually, once he gets a full grasp of the playbook, for weeks, after a few weeks, I think that's when you're going to see the offensive innovation. And I think that's when you're going to start seeing those 200- and 300-yard games that we know that Jameis is capable of doing.
Definitely. And then the last question for you today would be basically for the defensive side. Because for the Patriots game, we finally got to see Pete Warner. This man played, I think, over 30 snaps. And I just wanted to know, what is your thoughts on him? Because like me, I tell everybody, like me and Aaron from B&J Breakdown, we always thought he kind of reminds us of a Luke Kuechly type of guy, really smart on the field. So Payton thinks he's really smart. That's why he picked him. He's a sideline player, and he can like hit you, hard. So that's why I felt like he was Luke Kuechly. And I watched him against the Patriots, and I was like, dude, I said, I think we got us something special, and I think we got us a steal.
Yeah, I think P1, comparing him to Luke Kuechly, I think is a little bit too early. We never know. But I do think that he has like some great abilities. The fact that, he can't cover tight ends and running backs. He can play sideline to sideline, and he does have that on-off switch. You listen to him talk. He's like one of the calmest guys that you're ever going to see or hear. But when he gets on that field, he plays with his hair on fire, and that's what you actually need. And, he played 34 snaps last week. A guy that's playing in his first game, it just shows you the level of trust that the defensive coaching staff has, as well as the, head coach has for him. So I think the sky's the limit for him. Luke Kuechly was a special player, and I think we have him in a large sample size. That's probably the only reason why I'm not going to say he's not Luke Kuechly right now. But based on what I'm actually seeing, if it's, and if this last game is any indication of what he can be an extremely special player.
Yeah. It ain't like I'm just like saying, he is Luke Kuechly. I'm just saying like if you had to make an NFL comparison, because you look at his height, his weight, his play style and everything. And then you put in his smart, with him being really smart on defense. That's why I kind of compare him. It's just his NFL comparison. So like I said, if he lives up to it, then that's what I can see. Right. And I feel like if Kawan can stay healthy and he actually can, when he comes back from the bye week, whenever he comes back, if he comes back and be healthy for the rest of the season, I feel like him and Pete Warner would be a good duo for whenever DeMario retires. Because I know DeMario ain't getting any younger. But
I
feel like that'd be a good deal.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good combination, man. But DeMario Davis, he may not be getting any younger, but I tell you, you can't tell. But Hoodie Jude, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your comments. Good luck to you with your podcast on your channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Hoodie Jude channel, youtube.com, search Hoodie Jude. Good Saints talk over there, good analysis. So appreciate it, man, and good luck to you.
Thank you, man.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man, that's Hoodie Jude, man. Shouts out to him. Let me read some of these donations that came up as we were talking. I want to give a shout out to Gigatis. Thank you very much for the $10. Says Giants probably have no idea what they're really walking into. Dome coming at Caesar Superdome opening. Shoo-wee. Let me see. Go rep if you can. Sell out the dome. Wear the black and gold jersey and spread the word. Yeah, and shouts out to the New Orleans Saints organization, because from what I'm hearing, man, the tickets are like really reasonably priced. You know what I'm saying? They're not overpriced. People been talking about how cheap the tickets are. So understanding people's financial conditions after Ida and still trying to allow them to be able to enjoy the football game at a reasonable price. So shouts out to the Saints organization, wanting to pack that dome and also understanding people's conditions, man. So shouts out to them. We're going to go to God of Creation 21. Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, man. How you doing, TJ?
I'm doing just fine, man. So what you got for us?
I just want to talk about why, it seems like Sean Payton really don't trust Jameis Winston.
Okay.
And just like you and the other dude were talking about how he got to earn it, you know what I'm saying? He got to earn that respect. He got to earn that trust. He got to, earn it. And I'm like, well, for him right now, it's kind of hard to earn it. Not trying to like make excuses, but like Sean ain't really giving him no like gun type of offense. You know what I'm saying? We see him right under center. We don't see him in a shotgun type of offense, and I feel like he could at least give him some type of like play to where it's not like, oh my God, he's right under center, so uh he's immediately either gonna run it or have a slant or a crossing route coming. You know what I'm saying? Give him some type of substance he can work with. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. I feel like Sean Payton can't like be too critical on him and have this fear and not want to call any type of play for him. You got to have trial in there, because I'm like, well, even if he throws a pick every coming game, I believe that goes in line with you say he's gonna have what, 16? You say like 16 or 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something in that category.
Right, I would be fine with that if he throws a pick every game. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't. You wouldn't want it, but like it's not like I feel like it wouldn't be too detrimental. But I mean, why do you think Sean don't fully trust him yet and give him the opportunity?
Because I mean, it just is simple. He hasn't earned it. I mean, look, no quarterback. I don't care. Look, I don't care if you're Mahomes. I don't care if you're Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if you're Peyton Manning. Like, that stuff is developed, man, and it takes time. And the question that what I'm saying I have for you is, and I gotta ask you this. The question is, why? Why do you think Sean Payton doesn't do that? Why don't you think he does, like, what I'm saying, open up, what I'm saying, the playbook and call shotgun plays and 5 and 7 step drops? So I want to ask you that. Why do you think that is?
Well, to be honest, the reason why I think it is because he's too used to having his ace Drew Brees, where he can call a play, and Drew already on the same headspace with him. Like they was like yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he kind of he not used to having somebody. He like, oh man, I gotta build up with, what I'm saying. I gotta build up with him. You know what I'm saying? Build this new record, because Sean Payton's an amazing coach. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Probably arguably better than Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your statement, man. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so what I was saying is, like, he's a great coach, but that's still, like you said, trust is earned. So it's just like a human nature thing, to where he's like, you know what I'm saying, he don't know if Jameis is capable of it yet, which personally I feel like he is. I mean, even in that horrible Bruce Arians offense, yeah, he threw 30 picks, but dude also threw 5,000 yards. You don't do that by mistake.
Right. All right. I mean, look, I agree. I agree with you. You throw for 5,000 yards, it's not a mistake. Now, but can I give you like what my reason why I feel like he doesn't do it? The reason why is because what you just alluded to. You said Sean Payton is a good coach. The recipe for a good coach, what makes a coach a good coach, is for him to identify his players' strengths and utilize those strengths to their advantage. Now, we think about like some of the playmakers that the Saints had in the past, right? Let's look at Robert Meacham, right? Robert Meacham was more of the street route, wide receiver screen, put this guy on the outside for blocking on a halfback toss and stretch plays. That was his strength. You look at Lance Moore. Lance Moore, what was his strength? Playing in the slot, third down situations. He was the guy that moved the sticks. Marcus Colston, what was his strength? Being a big body, being 6'4", 220, and being a possession receiver. The reason why Sean Payton, in my opinion, doesn't do that for Jameis Winston is because that's not Jameis Winston's strength at this particular time. Sean Payton did the same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. He brought Teddy Bridgewater after that game when the Saints beat the Cowboys, set him at a table and said, okay, what plays are you comfortable with? And he illustrated an offensive, scheme around the plays that he felt that he was comfortable with. Now, here's the difference also. After that, Sean Payton went and watched Teddy Bridgewater's games in the past and seen the things that he was strong at and seen the things that he was lacked to add to the things that Teddy Bridgewater had in his playbook. He's doing the same thing with Jameis. It's a very complex offensive playbook that Sean Payton has. Emmanuel Sanders talked about how they have different type of, different sub packages. Normally teams have 6 and 7. Saints have 14 and 15. And then you have to add the fact that receivers aren't getting open, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why would you have a guy, going back 5 and 7 step drops if the receivers aren't getting open and leaving him susceptible to getting sacked? You know what I'm saying? A lot of the sacks that he's getting are coverage sacks. So I think that, you're not, I don't want you to think that what you're saying is wrong. Is I feel like you have to look at the circumstances too. No Michael Thomas, no Traquan Smith, no number 1, no number 2 receiver. And you have a bunch of undrafted free agents that are unproven that can't get separation. And you also got to combine that with the tight ends not giving you production at that position. So you have to be able to protect your quarterback because your team is limited at this time. You know what I'm saying? You're not going like if Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Hartman is out, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to like have Patrick Mahomes doing 5 and 7 step drops. You're going to get them killed. You know what I'm saying? Because who going to catch the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to be able to protect your investment. Your investment is this quarterback. So let's wait to see after week 6 and week 7. Let's see if they're going to be able to open up the playbook when you have a weapon like Michael Thomas back, when you have a guy that can move the chains like Traquan Smith. Because, and also let's look at a larger sample size of Jameis Winston, consistently making the right decisions, with the football. And, also combining that with a good running game. Let's see where we're at around week 6 or week 7 when everybody comes back. But, but regardless, no matter what quarterback is out there, when he comes to a team and a new head coach, he has to prove that he can actually play. No matter if you won Heisman's, no matter if you won Belinda Cobbs, Mackey Awards, you have to prove to the coaching staff that you are that guy that we're investing in. But I mean, that's a good point, man. But I want to say thank you for your comments, man, and call back anytime, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You got something else to say? I'm sorry. I mean, cut you off.
Yeah, I was just gonna. You were talking about the receivers. Yeah, I thought about that too. I'm like, yeah, we don't have Michael Thomas, but I also thought like, Drew Brees made a living off of throwing to Kroger employees and Albertson, Walmart employees for receivers his whole life. And man, that's either a testament to either Sean Payton or how special Drew was, because Drew literally would have these records. I don't know how he set records with just like unknown people.
Yeah, look. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was thinking about this probably yesterday when people were like going at me about the whole about Jameis. There's a difference between good, great, and elite. Okay, good quarterbacks, you take a game plan, they go out there and they just do what the coaches say they do. They throw more touchdowns than interceptions. Great is, you might, have a large sample size of success, but, in crucial situations, you probably, fold under pressure. Though, you still good, you still in MVP conversation, but, like people still have that leverage on you. What makes you elite is when you take, like you just said, like cotton candy makers and and popcorn sellers, and you turn them into, valuable assets. Like people like, Tom Brady, when he had, limited receivers. Drew Brees when he had limited receivers. Those are what makes, guys, elite in my book. Taking, what you have and getting more out of them. You can even say that to the offensive line at this particular point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like how many sacks did Drew Brees like allow, didn't allow because he threw the ball at the ground, or like he decided to throw the ball out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times, like, so it's different things like that. And that's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, we celebrate Drew Brees the way that we do. That's the reason why he is the greatest New Orleans Saint of all time, because of different things that he can do. He can turn nothing into something, and he can make things, you know what I'm saying, he can make things look better than what they actually are. So yes, you know what I'm saying, Drew Brees was at that level. Jameis Winston, not at that level. Jameis Winston, in my opinion, as of right now, is a good quarterback. He a good, solid quarterback. Not great, not elite, good. But I mean, he can't reach that point because he has the skill set to do so. But it's going to take some changes, man. You got to change some things around, man. You can't be throwing that thing, throwing picks left and right, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that, man.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, T.
No problem, man. No problem. Call back anytime. Great call, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, call you too, man.
All right. Yeah, man. I mean, good points right there, man. You know, good points. Let me see. I'm gonna go to CT Crusher, but Saints 01 says, sorry, TJ, you're not right all the time, and this time you're wrong on us. Not opening the playbook every week. Different. Let me see. Different game plan. Can't open up the playbook already early in the season. Trust Winston and Payton. Let me read that again. Sorry, TJ, you're not right all the time. I agree with that. In this case, you're wrong on us not opening up the playbook every week. Different game plans. Can't open up the playbook already early in the season. You understand what you're just saying right now? You're saying they shouldn't open up the playbook, but they should open up the playbook. I want to make sure you understand what you're telling me right now. Okay? All right. You say you're wrong on us not opening up the playbook every week. All right. I don't think I said that. He asked me, why do I feel they ain't open up the playbook every week? Different game plan. Can't open up the playbook already early in the season. So what you're saying is they should open up the playbook, but they shouldn't open up the playbook, but they should wait to open up the playbook later on in a week, and we should trust Jameis Winston and Sean Payton. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. CT Crusher, what's going on, man?
What's happening, T? What's up, bro? Man.
Hey, man, how you doing, man? I want to know, man, how can you open up the playbook, not open up the playbook, but wait to open up the playbook to later on in a week? I mean, later on in the season. Like, how do you do that? So let me see.
That's equivalent. That's equivalent to saying put the chicken right. Like no playbook, no playbook. Like cook the chicken. Don't cook the chicken. Cook the chicken. No, I'm hungry now. I want to eat it now. Cook the chicken. The indecisiveness, dude. I don't understand.
Look, I want to believe. I want to believe Saints 01. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to him. I want to believe that maybe he didn't reword that the way he wanted to. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to correct that, because that didn't make sense at all, man.
Right. At all.
What you got, man?
And maybe he just wanted, you know, he's a fan. He hasn't experienced hardship with this team like a certain amount of us have already. Right. You know, and a lot of fans, they haven't been humbled yet. You know, they haven't really seen what it's like when we not successful. You know, it's just a weird dynamic going on with us as a fan base, because it's almost like two of us. And I hate to sound like Jim Cornette talking about wrestling, but it's like you have this new generation of marks that just want to be positive all the time and don't really want to be realist about the situation. But then you have the old school wrestlers that stay in kayfabe, that don't let people see them outside of their character. Like it's like we the type of fan that's a realist. We love our team, but we are realists. You know, like we are mature people in this world to see the faults and the flaws and at the full spectrum of the mistake, man. Yeah. You know, I know, and I understand, because I hear on different podcasts what people say, and I hear what you say. And, you know, the other day, you know, I think Mr. Mike was talking about how things take time. Like you won't James. It's like people are talking about open up the playbook, but they don't even realize that our wide receivers can't open up separation. I mean, Marcus Callaway I think he's averaging like 2.8 yards of separation. That's our number one receiver.
No, it's
so not only are they not showcasing the athleticism to get open, to on their defense, they haven't been on the field long enough to have the resourcefulness to get open. They haven't been on the field long enough to have the experience to get open. So it's two different dilemmas with that, and we gotta see that.
See, CT Crusher. Here's the reality of this. People are comparing what the Saints did with Drew Brees, and they're expecting it to have the same level of results. They expect 300-yard games. They expect receivers to get open despite the situation. They expect for them to have a 100-yard receiver followed by a cast of characters. Right. That's what they expect. So when they don't see it, they're like, man, what's going on? But once again, there's, I know people don't like this example, but there's a different way to skin the cat. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to throw 300, 400 yards. Like, to me, when people start talking about 300 and 400 yards, that's just to build up your confidence and make you feel good to talk to other fans about what your quarterback is doing.
Right.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Like, man, look at him, man. Like, so I can just walk in the barbershop if you talk about Aaron Rodgers, but what about Jameis? Like, man, bump that. I want to win. I don't care about any of that stuff. It's about winning.
That's what we got to do. Yeah. I think Jameis Winston has 3 more touchdowns than Drew Brees in his first season at this point. I think we on a pace to try to get this offense together. We need to get Michael Thomas back. We need to have better offensive line play. Without an O-line, we are nothing. A lot of people say, oh, we need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. Who's going to block? Jameis? Is one of the running backs going to split in half and be a blocker and a runner? If our offensive line is not performing because of injuries, because of Cesaru, he's getting knocked back, Andrews P getting knocked back. If I'm not going to talk about Calvin, and I'm not going to talk about Hurst, because I think they've been commendable. They've been dependable backups. But our interior with Pete and Ruiz, we have to play better. We practically have no interior A-gap protection right now. People not understanding what's going on, the whole situation. And it's almost like, man, I don't know. I can't really explain it, bro. It's like I was talking to one of my friends the other day about how people, like, how they hate to be in a situation where they don't know the conclusion of it. They don't know, like, what's going to happen next almost. Right. And for 15 years, us as a fan base has been experiencing success on a level that we didn't really even have to think hard about. Right. There was jobber teams that came to the Dome. There was second inferior trash teams that we put to the side. We did that. We didn't have to think about that. Of course, we stinked it up a couple times, but for the most part, we've been experiencing success, regular season success, like no other team in the league. Right. Now we're in a whole different situation to where a lot of people, based off that success we've experienced, they want to know the conclusion of Jameis Winston. Right. And like me and my friend was talking about how sometimes as human beings, we'll jump to conclusions, we'll make up conclusions, because a lot of the times we don't want to be in that gray area. We don't want to have to second guess. So we will come up with the conclusion ourselves. If a job not calling you back or they're not hiring me, I'm gonna move on and try to get another one. My friend not messaging me back, she don't want to talk. We come up with these conclusions because it makes it safer for us to think about the situation. But sometimes that gray area is all we have. And we need to relax, man. We need to let Jameis do what he got to do. We need to see what's gonna happen with our offense. It's only been 3 games. Yeah. And I can only think about why people are doing that is because of the success that we've had, and because of what we've not had to deal with. I mean, this whole situation is almost an experiment. This is a project, and things are so linear in life. Things consist of time. Like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, this is not the only critical moments of life of football that we are going to see. Yeah. And let's just be honest about that. There is a chance that Jameis is not going to work out. That's fine. That's fine. Look how many quarterbacks we didn't see come through here.
Man, for real.
And guess what? We're still here.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of fans just have to understand it and you know, make a decision of if they want to cheer or they want to jeer, or if they want to, you know, provoke, or if they want to have hope type situation. And they
Yeah.
need to realize that we got to go through this. You know, we got a lot. We got Quan out. Quan is sideline to sideline. Like I told you the other night, Pete Werner came in awesome. Caden Ellis came in awesome, but they had to do a job of one person. You
Yep.
know, we got a rookie cornerback that's just exceeding expectations at this moment.
Yeah.
Because of Chris Richard. You know, I think Chris Richard is monumental in what's going on with our secondary, because we playing,
I
you
agree.
know, well. You know, but
Yeah.
we have so many components of our team that is new. It's just completely new, man. And we really got to see it for what it is and take one play at a time. Now think about shotgun 5-7, SEP driving, Joe Namath, New York Jets running up crazy, doing, you know, greatest show on turf, Drew Brees, all the numbers, Super Bowl. We got to let that go.
Yep.
You know, you ain't never gonna find nobody that you gonna marry if you always comparing them to your mom, or you comparing them to your ex, because that's what people are doing right now. They are so quick to say, I want Jameis Winston to be like Drew Brees. I want such and such to play like such and such. I want Adam Troutman to be Jeremy Shockey. I want him to be you know,
Ben Watson. Yeah,
being
Ben
Watson. They want this, and we just gotta relax, man. You know,
Yeah.
I really do think we have to relax, because a lot of people call in and they don't even understand what they're saying, because they so torn. They tormenting themselves. They so torn about what we're gonna do, the success of our team. If we're gonna have success, if we're not gonna have success, that's fine.
Yep.
We got to stay in the now right now and let Coach Sean do what he does for the better part of 2 decades. Let him do what he does.
Right.
Greatness is not the numbers. Greatness is not the pageantry, the showmanship. Greatness is not all of the national media. Greatness is when you take something and you mold it into another thing and it excels. Greatness is when
Right.
you have a situation to where you have enough resourcefulness to change, to adapt, to progress in life, and make that situation just as better as the one you had before.
Right.
Greatness is not all of these things that a lot of people want, and we just got to be real about that. You know,
Right.
the national media actually is doing us a favor right now. They're not talking about us, or if they are, we afterthoughts. They talking about Mac Jones, and they talking about, you know, what you know, Sam Darnold did to us or whatever. They actually giving us a reprieve from the frontal opinion. They giving
Yep.
us a reprieve from being a topic. That's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
That's fine. And let's just be a fan. I just want to be a fan, man. I want
Yeah.
people to really just be a fan. Stop being armchair coaches. Stop being armchair offensive coordinators. They don't know what they're talking about. Period. I'm sorry. I love the family. I love who they. I love the brethren. I love the camaraderie. But a lot of people do not know what they're talking about. They very, very, very quick to jump to something that they have no idea what they really are saying. They want the playbook. They don't. They want Jameis to throw it. They don't. Bruh, if you financed a car and you went default on that car over and over and over again, when you go back to that credit union and go try to sign another loan, guess what they gonna want? They gonna want some longevity of you paying bills,
Right.
showing the experience of you atoning for your mistake.
Right.
Period. So why would we be like Jameis can do this because he did that and he did this and he did that when he hasn't really shown? We don't have a full showcasing of what Jameis can do from him, from the offensive playbook, from Coach Sean giving it to him, from the existential situations of receivers, for everything else going on, the offensive line flaws. We have to relax and be fans and be happy and be sad and be jovial, be jubilant, be sad, be exalted, but just be a fan, not a coach.
Right.
And let's just, it's this. I don't know. It's like today's theme is divisiveness, and I'm not with that. We black and gold.
Man, yeah. I mean, you hit a lot of good points, man. You know, I just think people just need to relax and stop comparing uh Jameis to Drew, and you know what I'm saying, and looking at the team and talking about what we once was. And man,
Right.
there's a lot of people, man, honestly, people have their reservations, you know, about Jameis. Some people look at what he did in Tampa. They look at what the media said about him. He automatically just came in, all hope was lost. You know what I'm saying? Because of everything that was said about him. You got people that don't feel like he can be a good quarterback. You got some people out there that don't like him because he's black. You know, I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying?
Confirmation
He get the short end of the stick, you know what I'm saying? Automatically, you know what I'm saying, because of the color of that man's skin.
Thank you.
I'm just being 100. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Like,
be 100.
you can talk about, man, you know, man, he ain't doing this right. They ain't doing, man, come on, man. Like, there's those people out there that feel like black quarterbacks don't have the mental capacity to be able to, you know what I'm saying, illustrate, or, you know what I'm saying, to be able to regurgitate information enough to be formidable.
Thank you.
Period. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
So, I mean, that has a huge role. That plays a huge role. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be comparing him to what he did doing in the Saints uniform, because he had 8 touchdowns total and 2 interceptions. So what are you comparing him to? And you already said at the beginning that he had more touchdowns, you know what I'm saying, than Drew Brees did at this particular stage as a first-year quarterback. So what problem is it? So
what can he do? It's amazing, and I'm here for it. Like I'm here for my team. Win, lose, or draw. I'm here for the bad mistakes. I'm here for the bad decisions. I'm here for the screen plays that don't need to be called. I'm here for the momentum breakers when Taysom come out on the field. I'm here for the lows, the highs, everything, because I'm still gonna be a fan. I'm not gonna sit up here and seethe over something that I know gonna be controlled at the end of the day, man. I'm not gonna do that because I love my team. I love my team. I don't care, bro. We didn't have some bad times in being a fan. We didn't have some hard times. This is not hard. This is not hard. If it's hard to you, then you obviously haven't experienced what the New Orleans Saints has been through their whole existence at all.
No doubt about it, man.
You know.
But CT, man, great stuff, man. I appreciate your comments, and man, thank you for giving us that information, man. Call back anytime, brother.
And look, one more thing. Even with all of the woes, even with all of the flaws, I still got my Saints 24-13, dome coming, gonna be rocking. Love y'all. Who that?
Yes, sir. Who that? Shouts out to CT, man. Take it easy. Yeah, man. He hit some nails on the head, man. A lot of people aren't comparing, you know what I'm saying, comparing this dude, you know what I'm saying, to Drew Brees, which isn't fair to him, because Drew Brees was an incredible quarterback. He gave the Saints legitimacy. And but like I said, at the same time, man, look, you ain't about to tell me nothing about the state of Louisiana. Okay. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, but I was born and raised in the city of New Orleans. Okay. So I know how people think. I know how some people feel about this situation. The fact that people are ready to write this dude off after this dude has had 8 touchdowns total, 2 interceptions, has a quarterback rating of 109, right? You know what I'm saying? Completing almost 70% of his passes. Now, you can talk about, oh, man, he only throwing the ball 20 times, but still, like, what is he doing, in your opinion, that can just say, oh, he ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not his touchdown to interception ratio, right? So what else can it be besides the fact that you don't know football, you know what I'm saying, because you don't feel like a guy can rewrite a narrative about himself. So you're listening to what they're saying about him, and you're like, oh, man. Or maybe it's just the fact that you feel embarrassed, that you feel like you're the starting quarterback of the Saints in the eyes of the media is a joke. And then finally, once again, it's about individuals out there that don't want to accept the fact that, you know, this dude is a black man out there playing a quarterback position. So you ain't about to, you know what I'm saying? I don't sugarcoat it on here. You got a lot of people that got that mind frame, and they need to relinquish that. We're going to go to Jason in Tampa. Jason, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, good. I'm doing pretty good, sir. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing just fine, man. So what you got for us?
Yeah, man. So I'm listening to what you're saying about Sean Payton not really trusting Jameis, and I disagree to a certain extent. I think there are I definitely think there are levels to trust. And I think if you've been in a system for 10, 15 years, you have the coach's trust to change plays at the line of scrimmage, right? I mean, you have the full-throated trust of the coach, but when you've only been there for a year, kind of sort of watching and learning, you may not have the full trust of the coach. Also, I don't like the rep that Jameis gets, and one thing that you were alluding to was, the guy can't win for losing because, if you really think about it, he's actually being compared to two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, two first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the team that he left and the team that he went to, right? And that's a really unfair, a really unfair comparison to him because he didn't pick Tom Brady, he didn't pick Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Like these guys are just amazing quarterbacks that have had really good careers and have played really well. He's trying to come in, or in the Tampa scenario, he left Tampa, or at least they got rid of him for Tom. And then Tom Brady, did what Tom Brady did, which is everybody says he's the GOAT. So the GOAT should, take a team to the Super Bowl with all that talent. Then he comes to New Orleans and he's actually replacing Drew, which is unfair because, he's not Drew Brees. And I think everybody needs to take a step back and accept the fact that, okay, he's not Drew Brees. He's not going to be Drew Brees. He's going to be his own individual and he's going to play the way that he's going to play. And, trust that Sean Payton is a future Hall of Famer and is going to put him in the right position to make the right plays, even if Jameis may not feel comfortable making those plays, and that's okay. He's still learning the system. He's still learning the team. He's still getting reps with these players. And then, maybe that's just not a part of the game plan, Game plan for Green Bay was one thing, game plan for the Patriots is a different thing because of how their defenses are going to attack the offense. And I think, Sean is, he looks to be doing a really good job of making those game plans and making those adjustments. And, it's putting the offense in a position to where they're looking pretty well.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I want people to understand when I say about trust. And Jason, I think there's two levels, right? I think there's a level of trust because, like I said, he just got there as a starting quarterback, and that's what trust is developed over a course of time. Right. I don't want people to think, oh, he don't trust him because he has a reputation of throwing interceptions. I don't think that's the case because if Sean Payton felt like Jameis was just a hopeless case, he wouldn't have signed him. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He wouldn't even, agree to want him to be a part of the team. I mean, he plays a huge role, even though they have a GM. He plays a huge role at who comes in because him and Mickey have conversations. Mickey Loomis, the GM, and be like, well, we want to bring him in. What do you think about it? Well, I think he'll fit good in our system. So I don't want people to think, oh, he don't trust him. No, I just think that it just takes time. You know what I'm saying? It just takes time with that trust because he wants to know that he can go out there and, and play the game that Sean Payton wants him to play. And when that happens, then you'll probably see, more trust. But look, I do think that a lot of people are hard on this guy. Most of it because, like I said, man, I never seen a one player get so much scrutiny by the media. My goodness. Okay, so he threw 2 touchdowns last week against the Patriots. He threw one where Alvin Kamara ran an angle route. And I mean, Alvin Kamara was wide open. He just walked into the end zone. And of course, he had that second pass where he kind of, threw it up and Callaway, the wide receiver, made a good play. Which one you think they're going to show?
Exactly.
They're going to show, oh, he under the rest, he falling down, and the receiver bailed him out. So it's like, if you're watching that, like, same old Jameis, you know what I'm saying? Right. But you're not looking at the fact of how, he read, the first touchdown, he made his read and threw it to the open receiver. So if you're not watching that game, right, and basically you're watching NFL Red Zone where they just basically just kind of just show when you're in the red zone or, you know what I'm saying, or you're watching another game and then they have a game break. So if you're actually watching that, you're like, oh, same old Jameis, they won. But it's same old Jameis. So I just feel like I never seen this before in my entire life. Like, how did this guy become the poster boy for sorry quarterback play? I mean, I just don't understand it. Like, all these bad quarterbacks, man, we see on a weekly basis that parade out here, none of them get this type of attention like this. I never seen anything like it, man. I just have not.
And you mentioned one thing that I've noticed over the last couple of years is I'm surprised at how many people don't actually watch the games. Like you just said, there are
Right.
people who just get their information off of ESPN or
Right.
the morning shows and whatnot,
Right.
and they just give you a quick second highlight. And
Mhm.
I asked the people, I'm like, well, did you watch the game? Well,
Right.
no, I just okay. Well, then you don't have the full context of what happened. You
Right.
know, a lot of it is like I sit here and I compare this to somebody either buying a brand new car or doing maintenance on the vehicle, right?
Right.
When you put new parts in the vehicle, you're not just going to throw new brakes on and then go 150 miles an hour down the road. You're going to
Right.
take your time until you feel comfortable. Okay,
Right.
I know these things are good,
Right.
before I slam on the brakes and these things don't work. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think that's what's happening. Saints defense is really playing hard. They are locked in and they're looking really good, which is going to afford the offense a little bit more time to gel together and get things together.
Right.
And like you said, man, at the end of that Jaguars game, this New Orleans Saints defense is for real.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, but I just only think about like what it could, could be like. Like the offense could be struggling and the defense can be like how it was back in the day, when they couldn't stop nobody,
Right.
So it's a good, it's a good thing that the defense is stepping up for the offense to be able to figure things out. But just the whole thing about Jameis Winston, I just think that it's totally not fair. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's so crazy about football that a guy, if he goes to one particular team, it can be a bad fit. Like it can just be bad coaching, bad organization. And this guy can be the recipient of all of those things. And let's just say he end up signing with somebody else. All of a sudden, the fan base of that team, oh, he sucked. Oh, we're hopeless. Like you don't know what the situation is. You need to give these guys opportunities to rewrite narratives. I've never seen anything like that. Football is the only sport that I know of where a guy will get the reputation for being average, below average, or not good, and it just stays with them for the rest of their career. Like in basketball, you see guys that start off at the bottom, work their way to the top. Baseball, the same way. Hockey, the same way. Soccer, the same way. Football, if you go up in there a couple of years and you don't play up to everybody's expectations or elite, you're never going to be that way. So, man, I just don't think that's fair to Jameis. I just think that we need to give him time, and I haven't seen enough for me to be talking about we need to go with Taysom or we need to see what Ian Book, the guy we drafted out of Notre Dame. Look, I just say get this guy opportunity, man.
And I think Jameis and Sean Payton and New Orleans Saints are, in my opinion, I think they're gonna have the last laugh because when you find a gym that everybody else was trashed and everybody else is thrown away,
Right.
and once if you're a person that knows potential and
Right.
understands talent, which
Right.
Sean Payton has proven himself year after year after year to
Right.
understand talent, when you got that, when you have that talent and you can, bring them out and then show everybody else, yeah, look, this is what y'all missed. This is what y'all missed out on because y'all don't have talent. You can't see talent. You don't have an eye. And I think, Sean Payton will go down as one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. Once he
Yeah, I agree.
resurrects Jameis's career and, and they go to multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah. I think that Jameis went to the right spot. I think he understands he went to the right spot. That's why he was willing to take that, that significant pay cut last season to prove it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that he's in the right spot. I just think it's going to take some time before, like things start to open up. Michael Thomas still ain't back. Tre'Quan Smith ain't playing. When they start to get those weapons back and you probably, the following year they add some more depth to the team, you know what I'm saying? Maybe another wide receiver. I think that's when you're going to see him really living up to that potential. But Jason, thank you so much, man, for your comments. I appreciate that, man. You call back anytime, brother.
Absolutely.
All right, take care. Yeah, man. I mean, look, good points right there. I just think that people, have a right to change the narrative. Read a few more of your comments, then we're gonna get up out of here. Tyrone says, TJ, I like the way our division stands now. Has shown that it could be a battle all the way to the end for separation. Yeah, I agree, man. And they definitely got to start winning, especially the way that the NFC West is looking. All those teams look good out there. The way Sean treat Winston, I can see why he doesn't like rookie quarterbacks, and Winston is a vet. Yeah, I just think that Sean is not really a fan of young rookie quarterbacks. You know, I just think that, you know, he likes those veterans where the game kind of slowed down for him, because if you have a rookie quarterback, that's like more battle that you have to deal with, right? More battles. Let me see. Jameis has proven more than Donald, but Sam is glorified, and I'm a Jets fan. Look. Now we can talk about this if y'all want to talk about it, right? All right. I know some people don't want to have these type of conversations, but I got my reservations. I just find it weird that, you know, how people address how certain quarterbacks, when they go to organizations, they start saying, oh, the quarterback, you know what I'm saying, he has all the talent in the world, but the organization makes him look bad, like Sam Darnold. But then you have people like Cam Newton. You have people like Jameis Winston. You have people like, you know, Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like all these different quarterbacks and stuff like that, you know, where, you know, they just got to get off the bus, being able to run and pass and be able to fight through every particular situation. And if they don't, then they're not what you all they panned out to be. Like, I find it very weird and ironic. Like, how is it that somebody, and he's doing an outstanding job right now, but somebody like RG3, Robert Griffin III, can be back in 2012 offensive rookie of the year, have some issue, like lead the Redskins at the time to the playoffs, get hurt, decide, hey, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to just be running out of the pocket and all that kind of stuff. That would got me hurt. I would like to work on my pocket awareness. And all of a sudden, oh, you know what I'm saying, his dad too involved with the team. Oh, he taking rides with the owner. And, you know, all these different things. Now, keep in mind, Mike Shanahan was there stinking the team up, not making the team look like nothing and basically being bottom feeders in that division. But it was all his fault. I mean, you can fill in the blanks here. I mean, look, I like the guy with Matthew Stafford. I find it very ironic that Matthew Stafford goes into the Ford family office and says, I can't take this anymore. I want to go to a team where, that I feel like I can win with. You know what I'm saying? I only got a few more years left, and I would like to go for a championship. But then you turn around and have people like Calvin Johnson who wanted to leave because he felt the Lions was a train wreck, and they didn't want to let him go. People like Barry Sanders, who was a couple thousand yards away from breaking Walter Payton's record before Emmitt Smith did, and they didn't want to let him go. I just find that very weird. A.J. Green out there in Cincinnati, but you let Carson Palmer go. You fill in the blanks. you fill in the blanks. So we'll move on from there. The media dislike the Saints and Winston is the cherry on top of the narrative, and they're just waiting for the downfall with the Saints and Winston. Yeah, that's what they're hoping for, man. So they basically just setting it up. So that's the reason why when the Saints lose or Jameis Winston has his shortcomings, they amplify it, right? So trust me, you know what I'm saying? Like they only really show or pay attention to Jameis when the Saints lose or he throws a couple interceptions because got to keep that narrative alive. I hate how Winston gets hate from the media under Payton. He shows him you can game manage, not just risk it and brisket. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So one, look, Rome wasn't built in a day. Sometimes you got to redesign and rebuild, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you got to blow the whole thing up in order for you to rebuild again. So nothing, I just feel like Jameis is going to be just fine. I just think that they're making him aware of some of his decisions and making him a better quarterback in the process. I also wonder if Winston had chosen another team, would people mindset be the same, or if it's just because he chose the Saints? No, I just think that regardless to where he went, the narrative is that he's the poster boy for suck at the quarterback position. I'm not saying this about Jameis. I'm just saying this was what people portray him as. You know what I'm saying? Walking, talking, mediocrity, bad quarterback play. I think that will follow him regardless to what team that he goes to. I don't think it has anything to do with the Saints because in reality, I don't think that the media really likes the Saints in the first place. I think that they want the Saints to go back to the bottom of the barrel. Well, that's why every time the Saints, even though they're winning, they always want to bring up back in the days. And the Saints used to wear bags on their heads and the fan base wasn't proud of the team. But that's why they always talk about that because they feel like nostalgia sells. So when you start talking about the Cowboys and, you know what I'm saying, and you see, Tom Landry on the sideline with smoke, blowing out his mouth in the shadow and all that kind of stuff. People like to put that kind of narrative out there. So that's their reasoning for parading the Cowboys on TV with Vince Lombardi and the Green Bay Packers. That's their reason for parading the Green Bay Packers on television. But when it comes to the Saints don't fit that norm. The Saints aren't a part of the actual, structure of, great legendary teams, that they try to push. That's just not it. They just don't fit into that mold. So I don't think it has anything to do with Jameis Winston. I just don't think that they like talking about the Saints, period, because they don't feel like the Saints are worth their time. I don't care what you say about Cam, but he would have the Patriots at either 3-0 or 2-1, but he's sitting on his couch. Well, actually, he's cooking right now. He has a YouTube show called Cooking with Cam. Looked like he was cooking up something good, man. I'm going to have to check it out when it come out. So shouts out to Cam Newton, but definitely he deserves to be on somebody's team. We know what that's about, TJ. Yeah, we know what it's about. It's all hot takes, hot takes, hot takes. Jason Brown speaking the truth. Gigatis, William Dickerson, they'll sell their soul for the clicks. Yeah, it's sad out here in these streets. I'm good, sir. How are you? Tammy says, speak. I'm just being serious, man. Like, you can't tell me that somebody like Cam Newton don't deserve to be on somebody's team. Okay, you can't tell me that. But but that's just the way that it is, man. Like, they really just sit up here and just blame these guys and make it seem like they just don't pan out, right? I mean, you talk about Carson Palmer. Oh, it's the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? The Bengals are a bad franchise. They terrible. Like, the Brown family are cheapskates. The Ford family are cheapskates. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really hear people like, and I like Matthew Stafford, but you ain't really hear people talking about Matthew Stafford as a bad quarterback. You ain't really tell them talking about that. You know what I'm saying? You mostly just heard about the Ford family being cheap, and they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to take care of their stars. And even with Sam Darnold, you know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold was horrible, you know what I'm saying, for the Jets. He was horrible, but people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying, him being horrible. They talk about Adam Gase going to the press conference, looked like he was high on that sky owl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they talk about. But they don't talk about how Jameis was the first pick overall, but he had about 3 head coaches, several offensive coordinator changes, a head coach that were just completely aggressive. And, the reason why they don't talk about it, they feel like their excuse is comparing him, like Jason said, to arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, which is unfair. So the greatest quarterback of all time can win here, but he couldn't. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Tom Brady is considered one of the best, if not the best of all time, because he can do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He can create nothing with something. So imagine what he can do with something. Once I told a prior boss that I feel like I have to be twice as good as the white teammates to prove that I'm just as good as they are. She didn't understand. Well, look, there are, you know what I'm saying, there's systematic racism out here. You know what I'm saying? There are some prejudices out here. And like I said, I don't want people to, I don't want somebody that's white or somebody of another, you know what I'm saying, nationality or color just be sitting there and be like, well, that's not the reason I like Jameis. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Jameis Winston. Like, and just like, look, obviously I'm not talking about you. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that it's extremely naive that you don't feel like there's this level of prejudice that goes on with the black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that you're being naive. People are, and like, spare me with the crap about, oh man, virtue signaling and, you know what I'm saying, everything got to be about race. Look, it is. I hate to say it, just because you don't want to hear that. Just because somebody tells you, runs into your house, and they be like, man, I just walked past your house and your back room is on fire. I don't want it to be on fire. Why my house had to be on fire, man? No, it ain't on fire. You know what? It's not on fire. It's not happening to me. It ain't not me, not my house. Maybe my next door neighbor, but not my house. Don't mean that your house ain't about to go up into flames. Just because you don't want to talk about these situations and you choose to say out of sight, out of mind, or I don't want to hear about this, guess what? It's still happening around you. If I end this show and stay in this room right now, Don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. Guess what? The world is still moving around me, just in spite the fact that I'm still staying in this room. I feel like anybody that don't want to address these type of situations or act as if they don't exist, or just feel like this because I'm not like this means that everybody else isn't like this. I think that you're being completely naive. There's a narrative going on, and if you look at what's going on in these situations, you will understand that. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it has anything to do with anybody being, just focusing on race. Because look, I like football. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like you. I don't want race to be, involved in football. I don't want prejudice to be involved in football. I feel the same way as you. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have no choice in the matter, regardless if you want to hear it or not. But there are people out there, that feel that way. That if people like nostalgia, if people like traditions, you know what I'm saying? Like hey, you see where I'm going with this, right? If people like nostalgia and if people like traditions, it don't just stop with football play. If you get what I'm saying. If people are keen on tradition, keen on history, keen on, all these different things, it don't just stop with football. Okay. It just don't stop with my love for the Cowboys since 1972. You get what I'm saying? It don't just stop with that. There are certain things that we're fans of, some of us are fans of, and we wish those things were still the same way. And regardless to how things may change, in our minds, they stay the same. So CT Crusher says 100. Thank you very much for the $2, my friend. Look, it wasn't supposed to be them type of shows, but look, if you come in on the State of Saints podcast, you come to hear me, I ain't sugarcoating nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like if I lose subscribers because somebody don't want to pay attention or understand that there is a systemic racism out here, that are people out here that judge people based on the color of their skin, they automatically just read a person way before a person has a conversation, then by all means, you know what I'm saying? I salute you. But look, we speak that real stuff over here. We talk about these real issues. You know what I'm saying? You want lollipops and gumdrops, find another podcast. Cam Jordan should go to the Redskins. Yes, I said it. Ron Rivera, his old coach, and him would be a good match. I agree with that. I think he should. I'm surprised they ain't called him up yet. And I like Taylor Heineke. I like him a lot, but I don't think that he's a game in, game out quarterback. Folks walking around with their heads in the sand. I'm native, and I see how black quarterbacks get treated. Cam, we might hate, but the dude good. So yes, I believe race is a part of the game we watch nowadays, which is messed up. Everyone bleeds the same. Yeah, look, it is. It's sad that you have these people with this mind frame. And it's sad that some people don't see that. Like it's sad. It's easy for I'm gonna say this. Okay, it's easy. Like Martin Luther King says. He says it's easy to tell a man to pull himself up by his own bootstraps, but how can you tell a man to pull himself up by his own bootstraps if the man don't have no boots? How can you say that to a bootless man? How can you tell? Like if you're already behind the 8-ball. You know what I'm saying? If you already got all these different things that's going on, how can you tell somebody that what they need to do if they already playing behind the 8-ball? Oh, you need to do it this way. That's one of the main reasons I don't really, people do these different forums. Man, let me show you how I made this much money. Let me show you how I started this program. Let me show you how I started this business. Just because it worked for you don't mean it's going to work for everybody else. You might have the stars aligned for you in order for you to start this business, but somebody else has to go through a different type of situation in order for their business or their ideas to grow. So for us to sit up here and just feel like our way is the only way, for those out there that just feel like I'm not racist, so that means that nobody else is racist. I'm not judging people based on their color of their skin, so nobody else is doing that. You're completely naive. Yes, I said it. You're completely naive. That is ridiculous. And there are people out there that are judging this dude, Jameis Winston, based on the color of his skin. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that I have bruh. I have, and I don't want people just to feel like, oh, TJ, you just overreacting. when I come on shows like this and I talk about people, saying all these different things, they don't use profile names, they don't use profile pictures. I got emails full of hatred, coming from individuals. Calling this man the N-word, calling it, saying that, black quarterbacks ain't it. I'm just being 100% real with y'all. And this is the type of stuff that I see. So when I come on this show, it's not just me telling you this stuff. Like, it is stuff that is actually being sent to me. And a lot, a lot of times, like, whatever. There are people out there that feel this way. I wish I didn't have to say these things, but there are people who feel this way. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad. Now, there are players that, don't pan out because they suck and they're not good at their position. But there are players out there, like, you can't tell me Robert Griffin the third don't need to be in the NFL. Rather he a starter or a backup. You can't tell me Cam Newton don't need to be in the NFL as a starter or a backup. Like, I don't believe that. I just don't. I just don't, man. I'm sorry. Even, like, you can have your reservation. Even Colin Kaepernick, like, starter, maybe we can have a conversation, but as a backup on somebody's team, yes, he should be on somebody's team. Regardless of if you want to add your political affiliations and your political views into it or not, if we're judging based on if a person can play football, if he can play the quarterback position, yes, the dude deserves to be in the league, period. There is, I've been judged my whole life because I'm Native, so I feel what you mean. Yeah, being Native, being Hispanic, being black, in some cases, being white, I'm just being honest. I don't want people to fall like, man, shoot, black people can be racist, Hispanic people can be racist. Like, we all have prejudices, that we have towards each other. So I'm not going to just put it on one particular group, but hey, man, like, seriously, there's something that's going on with the black quarterback in history, and it's basically the same thing. And I'm sorry. Okay, we all have our prejudice and stereotypes when it comes to one another. We all do. Right? Like we all do. If we, like, sometimes if we see, a white boy in the car, he blasting some Kendrick or blasting some J. Cole, like, we looking, we laughing. If somebody white, they they hear a black guy listening to smoothest Tennessee whiskey, sweetest strawberry wine, they probably laughing. Like, if if a Hispanic guy, listening to hip hop, or a black person, listening to Selena in the car, which I do, I like dreaming, dreaming by Selena, rest in peace. But look, I mean, we all like have these prejudices and we laugh at one another, and we have these thoughts in the back of our mind about what should and shouldn't be. Tyrone says, TJ, the way how you stay open-minded, another reason why your podcast is growing and will continue. Tyrone, thank you very much for the $5. Like I said, it's just about being honest, man. I wish that we could not have these conversations, but they exist. I hate how race is still living throughout the United States and the world. We all bleed the same. I feel this, TJ. I'm not black, but I'm a tan-skinned Native, so I feel what you're saying, that it's true. Yeah, man, look, we talking about Native Americans. I think if anybody got something to gripe, and if Saints 01 can come on here and have that type of attitude, bro, look, man, I mean, that's just a testament to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a big history buff, and we all know about the natives and as well as African Americans and what they endured in the past. So I think that's a start. We all understand that we all bleed the same blood. If you need a blood transfusion, and or your family member needs a blood transfusion, are you gonna stop and say, is this blood from a white man or a black man? Like, is it from a Hispanic guy or an Asian guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna say these things. You're gonna be like, put that blood in me. I'll tell you right now, look, and this is some, this is something that's very, personal to me. I was hospitalized in October 2019. I was in a hospital, right? I was in there for a week. I had pneumonia, and I had like this rare form of anemia, man. It got so bad that I needed blood, right? You know what I'm saying? And as they hooked the, that blood up, that blood pack up, and as it's going into my veins, I couldn't help but to think about who is helping me, who is saving my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't think about based on color. I thought about it because I wanted to thank that person. So we're all the same, man. We're all the same. And I think as soon as we realize that, the better. No need to send people hate mail or be racist. That's messed up. Screw the haters, bro. Suck how people are about race is messed up. Wish the world wasn't so racist, but yes, the black quarterback thing is real. Look, man, like I said, that's the only reason I bring it up. I wish I could, show y'all email, but I mean, I discard them immediately. Like, I don't need that type of energy, you know what I'm saying? But it's just sad, some of the things that I read, folks, about this man. Like, I'm about this man. Like, it is, sad, bro. Sad. Let me see. I repeat, change is necessary for progress. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a big Chris Stapleton fan. Chris Stapleton. What you said about Native Americans? Yeah, absolutely, man. Look, I won't give a history class. Maybe on a podcast. We're not really talking about sports. We'll talk about that type of stuff. We'll kind of get more in depth into it. TJ, much respect about what you said about Native Americans. Hella respect. We talking facts up in here. 100% they live. Got me juiced up today. Yeah, man. I mean, look, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair, man. I'm gonna just be honest with you. it just ain't fair. It's just not fair. When you look at the history of the natives, man, and everything that they actually went through. I was, I'm gonna say this though. Okay, so I was reading a history on Yosemite Park, right? And Yosemite Park, it became like a national park in 1890, right? During this time, who was staying around the Sierra, like area in California with Native Americans. But they actually end up getting pushed out of their land because of the California gold rush, which, if y'all probably, look up the history of the California gold rush. And, it just made me think about, like, how can you push somebody out their own land? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they got gold here. Like, and just, ran the natives off, man. I mean, stories like that. Yeah, they had it hard, man. TJ, it stems from a false superiority complex and a narcissistic mindset. Racists have a narrow view of the world and those around them. They can't see someone as human first, which is sad, man. Which is sad. I want to just turn the State of Saints podcast into, like, just a bunch of, I understand about the whole, racism thing. But I don't want to, us tonight, not understand the context. I don't want people like, you just joining us, say, oh, man, TJ, man, you up here bringing everything to race, which eventually, when somebody goes back and they look at this podcast, that's the first thing they're going to bring up. Oh, you always talking about race. I am, but putting it into context, I'm saying this based on what I read in emails and what and the pattern that I'm seeing. And I think y'all see it too. Winston can't please them all, no matter what the young man does. That's just a fact. No, he can't. And that's what Saints fans are going to have to understand. That's what they're going to have to understand. He's not going to be able to please everybody from the national media. They have their agenda. The people, that think, certain ways about him because he was a bad quarterback or he didn't play as well as they wanted him to in Tampa. Or, the race situation. So there are all these different things. So you're never going to be able to please everybody, right? It's like you making a great dish, right? You spend all day, you get the ingredients, you feel like it tastes good. A couple of people might say it tastes good. Other people you might see, taste a little bit, might leave some on a plate. I mean, you're not going to be able to please everybody, right? But the best thing for you to do is to be satisfied with what you put on the field. You know what I'm saying? If you're Jameis Winston, be satisfied with what you put on your plate. You feel me? Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. And like I said, I'm just glad that he has that type of mind frame. And I know he does, because I just don't believe that anybody that gets talked about the way that he does would actually have this type of, they would not have a leg to stand on, you know what I'm saying, if they actually didn't believe in themselves. These discussions need to happen. Well, I know they definitely need to happen, but I want to make sure I put it into context. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about subjects like this, I want to make sure that people understand that it's coming from a sports standpoint. You know what I'm saying? A sports standpoint, life standpoint. Now, I have podcasts where I talk about other things, you know what I'm saying, that don't involve sports. And I'll probably go, you know what I'm saying, I can go into deeper detail. But I want people to understand this. And once again, don't sit behind your screen or your, on your phone or on your computer and just take my word for it. Go and do your own research, because sometimes people are like, oh man, you over exaggerating. How do you know I'm over exaggerating? Stop putting everything on yourself and saying how I treat people and what I do and how I feel is how the way that it is. That is the most naive mind frame you can possibly have. That is, you're naive. You know what I'm saying? You're naive. Is equivalent to somebody who went underground during the Cuban Missile Crisis because they said that the world is going to blow up and they stayed underground the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, your head is in the sand. You don't know what's going on. Find out, do some research on your own. Understand and respect other people's values and stop just listening to people that feel the same way that you do. How you drawing conclusions based on a whole bunch of good talk, whole bunch of blame pleasantries. Like, I can't remember what caller this was. I don't know if it was CT Crusher or it was somebody else, but they were talking about how people just like to hear certain things that they want to hear, or they like situations to be comfortable. Yeah, it was CT Crusher. He was talking about the dark clouds. You know what I'm saying? Like, we you know what I'm saying, we don't like to be uncomfortable. And that's where a lot of our problems come in. We don't like to be uncomfortable. We don't like to be vulnerable. You know, we don't like vulnerability, and we don't like to get the real. You know, we don't like to get the real deal, Holyfield. We want it wrapped up in a beautiful bow, like it came from J.C. Penney's or Dillard's on Christmas or something. You know, like, hey TJ, me personally, I think this week will be a blowout win, but next week at Washington will be a toss-up. The Saints always struggle against Washington. Check their history. Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Always good games when the Saints go up against Washington. It always comes down to like something crazy, you know what I'm saying, at the end. The media loves details. That's why I don't listen to them. Not too many details, you know what I'm saying? Like, little details is possible where they can actually draw a narrative. Yeah, reality is what people struggle with, there's their reality and there's actual reality. I want people to understand that. Okay, there's two types of reality. There's a reality that you choose to have as your reality, and then there's actual reality. I feel like people who listen to only what they want to listen to only one side. What they're doing is they're creating their own reality. It's almost like, being on social media on Facebook, right? If you're on Facebook, if you're just starting out, you put your name in, you put your location. What are they going to do? They're going to say, these are people that you may know based on your location, based on the people that you selected as friends, yada, 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 right? So all of a sudden, there are certain things, what Facebook is actually doing is creating this world, around you. And if you just look at that all the time, that will be your reality. Not going outside the realms of social media and crossing over to the other side and seeing what other people think in order for you to draw your conclusion. That is the way the world is. When you only listen to one network, when you only read one newspaper, when you only follow one particular person, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because you don't, like they say, man, the right hand should always know what the left hand is doing. I don't want to, I don't want to be caught off guard. So I listen to both sides. I tell people all the time, man, I will interview somebody that, that don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how you feel. I want to know why you feel the way you do. You know, I feel like that is how we get to a level of unity. That's how we gonna like solve these problems. But people too scared, because when I walk out the house being 6 foot, 225 pounds, you know what I'm saying, people already just think, you know what I'm saying, certain things about me. Not everybody, but they automatically just know, you know what I'm saying, certain things. If I see a you know what I'm saying, a tall white guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, like if I ain't having that conversation, I could tell he has a sense of entitlement. How do I know? I ain't have a conversation with this guy. Oh, this guy's looking for trouble. How you know? You ain't have a conversation with me. So we draw these conclusions based on what people say, you know what I'm saying, and what we read. That's dumb. That doesn't make much sense. I'm gonna read a few more, man. Jerry, I stopped watching ESPN and the other medias about football with all the clowns. I'd rather listen to the Saints podcast than ESPN or NFL Network or Stephen A. Stephen A is Stephen A is a character. Stephen A just trying to get a late night show at this particular point. So he gonna jump around and yell and scream and try to be as entertaining as he can. So I guess when Jimmy Kimmel decide to retire, you can take his spot. TJ, the people who can't have an uncomfortable conversation without reverting to disrespecting others because they have a different opinion, are those who don't want to validate in their own prejudice. Well, look, all I know is it has to start somewhere, King Arthur, and it has to start with people with a bunch of made up minds. Okay, when we talking about football and we have these type of conversations and we talk about Jameis, I'm not telling you something that I think. I'm telling you something that, you know what I'm saying, that I've experienced firsthand, as well as you see a pattern, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes like when we look at patterns, we dismiss them, right? Because we're like, oh, nah, it can't be it. And then we'll go out here and we'll just be like, man, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. You're overreacting. Or, you know, we like to, you know what I'm saying, we like to use a lot of these situations, right? Well, I can bring up a time where this happened to a white man, or this happened to a Hispanic man, or this, like, come on, man. I mean, how many opportunities do people of color get? How many opportunities do people, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that white people get? I'm just being honest. Like, if you want to use that type of example, people will talk about, what's the stereotype about black people, right? Growing up in the hood, being on drugs, right? But if we want to use that example, then, you know what I'm saying, we might as well just use the example about do more, you know what I'm saying, African-American or minorities do more drugs than white people? No, they don't. Because there's a higher percentage of, you know what I'm saying, of white people in the world or in the United States than they do minorities. They are the majority. So if we want to look at that, if you're looking at it from a statistical standpoint, you win. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're going to have a bunch of scenarios that you can actually use because you have more opportunities to see that. If we have a small sample size, of course we're going to bring it to your attention because it's such a small sample size and we don't have too many examples to choose from like you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can use one situation with Cam Newton, because there's few and far between. We're just starting to see a wave of African-American quarterbacks being drafted consistently, right? We're just starting to see this type of behavior happening. So, of course, it's going to be a small sample size. And, of course, you're going to be able to go throughout the time and history where this happened because, why? There were several opportunities for you to choose from. So, top compilation says talk football. I am talking football, jackass. You may not like the football that I'm talking. How did y'all see that funny video of Breeze? He like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I should play football. I know all the jokes is funny, though. We love Breeze, but enjoy retirement, man. Yeah, a lot of people that was saying, man, he need to come back. He need to come back. He need to come back. You know, look, man, whoever top compilation is, man, see your ass about the chat. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to talk football and you want to hide your head in the sand. You know, I don't do this, but peace out. I ain't got no time for these. I ain't got time for these idiots today. I ain't got no time for it. I ain't got no time for it. Put your head in the sand, you know what I'm saying, and hide out. But we talk real here. We talk football. If football trickle into life, then that's what happens. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. We talk real stuff here. We talk Saints football. We talk about some of the hottest topics, you know what I'm saying, around the New Orleans Saints. But if it trickle off into real life, sit back and relax. Or, you know, you can find the door. You know, it's not like, you know what I'm saying, I come to anybody's door kicking in and say, man, you better watch the State of the Saints podcast. Out of my chat with that nonsense. Man, I love it when you have these convos, TJ. I like having these conversations. Like I said, it pertains to football. You know what I'm saying? It's real life. Hey, TJ, when Michael Thomas gets back, I'm going to be curious to see if Jameis Winston can give him the ball. That was one of Drew Brees' specialty. I think he can. I think Michael Thomas can work with virtually anybody. I just think it's about chemistry, though. Let's see. Who that brother? What's going on, John? Talk your talk, TJ. Man, I'm just being real. Man, look, get out of here with that nonsense. You know, I never understood that, man. Like I don't force you to watch the show, man. You don't know what you talking about, but you watching the hell out the State of the Saints podcast, so I must know something. It's rather I got like this, you know what I'm saying? I must be Merlin the Wizard to have you hypnotized, or the show must be pretty damn good. I like to think the latter. This is real talk, football, race in life situations, good live. Look, it's not like I just came on here with just talking about, you know, it in a, you know what I'm saying, and not in a football context. I'm talking about it. And it is focused on our quarterback, Jameis Winston. Yes, I said our quarterback, because if you're a Saints fan, he is our starting quarterback. TJ, I want to know why no one is talking about that Brady came down there and bought New England offense with the Bruce was supposed to be this offensive genius. Because he already had the reputation around the realms of the NFL. You know, so people already just look at you know, Bruce Arians as this quarterback whisperer. And as we talked about before, once you have this narrative about yourself when it comes to football, it forever stays with you. You know, it's like with Jeff Fisher. You know, how did Jeff Fisher continue to find work after mediocre season with the Titans is beyond me. But hey, he's supposed to be a tough guy. Oh, he goes to the sidelines. He scowls at people. He has this stern matter about him. Man, miss me with that, okay? It's all about reputation. That's the reason why. It's about reputation. Reputation in the National Football League matters. And no matter if you have a couple down years or, you know what I'm saying, you start off having down years and elevate, you're always going to be that coach, that player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when they talk about Andy Reid. Andy Reid has always been a great coach. Always been good, but all of a sudden, like he an elite coach now, that he finally won a Super Bowl with Kansas City. Man, miss me with that. 5 straight NFC championships with the Philadelphia Eagles, 1 Super Bowl appearance. Like, knock it off, man. That's not a deal breaker to me. You think I look at Don Coryell, the great San Diego Chargers head coach, you know, with Eric Coryell back in the 80s? You don't think I look at him as a great coach just because he didn't win a Super Bowl? I still look at him as a great coach. You think I don't look at the late, great Marty Schottenheimer as a great coach because he never won a Super Bowl? That's not a deal breaker. You don't think I look at Jim Mora as being a really good coach because he didn't go to the, you know, saying he didn't win a playoff game or didn't go to the Super Bowl? No, all those guys are really good coaches in their own right. But they'll make, until you win a Super Bowl, they'll make it seem like you straight up slow. That's crazy. I'm going to ask you this, TJ. You think Kamara will get 100 rushing yards this season? Just a question. And you think Mike T comes back just as dominant as he left? Yeah, I think that Mike T is going to come back, play really well. And I do think Alvin Kamara is going to run for 1,000 yards because the way that the Saints offense is looking right now, the way that it's structured, I think that he's going to have plenty of opportunities to bust long gains in games. I must say, this foot's soaking heat bubble thing is noise. I guess you soaking your feet. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, you know the old saying, TJ, you ain't doing nothing if you don't have haters. Been watching you about 1.5 years, bro, and for the most part, most authentic podcasts I watch, they mean you, my fellow New Orleans. Damian, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's all I can be, man. And honestly, for a while, I used to let these things kind of bother me, but man, not anymore, man. I just don't. I just think that, some people, they see where you're going or where you're trying to get to, and they try to stunt your momentum. But I don't let that. I ain't about to let nobody stop me from doing what I got to do. You shouldn't let anybody stop you from what you want to do. For all my podcasters, for all my business owners out there, for all my people thinking about starting business, there's always gonna be a hater somewhere trying to hate on you or talk about what you ain't doing wrong. Meanwhile, they sitting on the couch somewhere eating Little Debbie snack cakes about a dozen. You know what I'm saying? And watching TV with the, with the popcorn bucket on their belly. But meanwhile, they want to tell you about what you need to do, how you should run your business, how you should structure your podcast, who you need to talk about, who you don't need to talk about. Miss me with that BS, okay? Miss me with that, okay? If you ain't doing nothing with yourself and you miserable about your life, don't come into my chat trying to bring that misery on to me, because guess what? I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with these haters. And the only reason I'm going back and forth with y'all today because I gave y'all opportunity. By the name of the show is TJ, you tripping. And as y'all can see, didn't have many people that actually called in or chimed in and said anything about them disagreeing. Why? Because those miserable individuals like to play in the chat, you know what I'm saying, where they know for a fact they can't come on here and spar and talk football and talk X's and O's and Willis and Joes without y'all saying, oh no, because they don't know what they're talking about. McCoy coming back against Washington. I hope he come back after the bye week, Mr. Barnes. I'm gonna be honest with you. That give him an extra week to relax. Don't let it stop you, TJ. Let that CTC come out. Well, I'm not from across the canal. I'm not from the lower 9. But I am from the 9th ward. I used to go to across the canal quite a bit, man. Shouts out to my my Uncle Tone. May he rest in peace. He used to live on Andrew Street, right down the street from Lawless. Yeah, I used to go over there quite a bit with my grandpa. Soon as I get back going to get me a hot sausage po' boy on Broad and Banks. Man, I just wish I can get a bucket of hot sausage, man. I'm gonna have to get down there. I went down to Vicksburg a couple months ago. I went to Natchez. And while I'm thinking about down there, I want to give a special shout out to my grandma, man. My grandma, she been sick for the last couple of days. She was hospitalized, but she's back at home, man. She came home on yesterday. So, Grandma, I know you're probably watching this right now. I want to let you know I love you, and I'm glad you're okay. And my grandmother is the biggest Saints fan that you're gonna find. So I want to give a shout out to my grandmother, Miss Maxine William Jones. I'm glad you're okay, Grandma. I love you. But yeah, man, my uncle used to stay on Andrew Street, down the street from Lawless. And then we'll finish it up with Malcolm. Malcolm says, I will say too, TJ, you guys are going to see also a down the field Mike T with Jameis in the Ohio State days. The man used to be a deep threat, high point the ball, 50-50 balls. Yeah, I think that people are going to change the way that they look at Michael Thomas, like calling them slant boys, saying he only can run quick slants. I just think that he ran those slants because Drew Brees was limited, and that was what the game plan called for. But I think that he can run every route in the route tree. He's fundamentally sound. He's physical, and he's one hell of a football player. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you to everybody that called in. Really do appreciate that. Thank you for all your comments, the donations to the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all. Last month, we actually had more subscribers than we probably had in a 1 month span. Like that's insane. Like right now, I think we're about 49 subscribers away from 7,000 subscribers. And I want to say thank you all for choosing the State of the Saints podcast to make the State of the Saints podcast one of your go-to podcasts for Saints talk. Also want to give a special shout out once again to my grandmother. I love you very much. Also want to give a special shout out to everybody in the New Orleans Gulf Coast region affected by Hurricane Ida. Love you. Much love to you. We're going to get through this together one day at a time. FEMA, get on y'all damn job. You know what I'm saying? You got some people out there that really need some help. It's some BS that y'all had this situation before, and we're going through it again as a people. It's a damn shame. Y'all need to do something about that. And I'm talking about the government too, because for all those people talking about, oh man, you know what I'm saying, Bush this, Bush that. Biden don't seem like he's doing a damn thing either to try to get stuff down there either. So it's not a political thing, it's a human thing. And right now, the government is looking like straight slow. Get those people some help. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Thank you all so much. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And like always, all I got to say is, who that?